Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Malone's Record Service Evan Monroe Show, presented by Critters Corner, where we cover everything here on the range with the West Green Buffaloes football team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Evan Monroe. We're back inside the field house today. We were at Critters last week. I know we've been on the range a few times the last few weeks. We had a successful show last week, though. Favorite show you've done? Least favorite show you've done?
It might be my least favorite.
Least favorite show. We put you on the spot.
The call-in section was I wasn't quite prepared for Rusty from Kingsport and Earl from Mohawk to throw me for a loop there. So
that's the beautiful part of it, though. We got to keep you on your toes.
He definitely did.
They ask better questions than I do. I ask you the generic questions. They give you the ones where you really got to give a lot of thought to it.
Well, I can stammer my way through the generic ones. You know, give a good enough answer. Those I wasn't quite ready for some of those.
Yeah.
So that's good stuff.
We might wait to do another call-in show till next year. We'll give you some time off on that.
I appreciate
I know that
that.
was probably the most nerve-wracking interview you've done so far on camera.
Yeah, I think the studio audience there was
a
little rough to deal with. Then you add in the call-in show at the end. I'm not a trained media professional, so it's a little rough there.
It was fun to do it at Critters, though.
I enjoyed it.
We'll have to go back and just go at a time where it's less crowded. How about that?
Hey, you know, I wouldn't be opposed to doing another one at the end of the season at Critters.
Okay.
And go, you know, when I know the studio audience won't be there.
Correct. I don't know how the studio audience all of a sudden showed up because I didn't know that anybody else knew about it. And I walk in there and the place is packed.
I think it was just coincidence more than it was anything
It was fall
else.
break, so
Yes.
I understand. Everybody had some free time.
Yeah. So you walk in, you've got several friends and acquaintances and people that you've known for a long time that are there.
Yeah.
And in the wise words of Jay Early, you got a man down, got to throw the pepper to him.
Yep.
They threw it. So
Let's go back to Friday night. I know we had that interview on Wednesday and we previewed the Hampton game, and it didn't go the way you wanted it to in the end. Fell to the Bulldogs here at home on the range. Talk about that game. Just take me through it all. I know things weren't going well from the start. Really didn't go well until the end whenever you got to push down into the red zone. Just take me through that whole entire night against the Bulldogs.
you know, we didn't execute well on either side of the ball. Defense played okay at times, but some of the fundamental things that we've been doing all season, we didn't go do. So I was a little disappointed there. Offensively, we couldn't get anything going. We knew that they were going to send the house, and we never really adjusted to it, and never could pick up a block here, a block there that we needed. And, you know, overall, we just did not play well. We got a lot of work to do before we pick up some more we got 2 more region games to finish the year. We're in non-conference this week, but, you know, the 2 weeks after that, we've got region games. So for us, the next couple of weeks, we've got a lot of work to do to give ourselves a shot to get into the playoffs.
Well, that's something that we'll talk about in the latter half, too. We kind of talked about it off air and what needs to happen for you all to get in, because we talked about that last week where this game held a lot of conference implications where Hampton hadn't had the best season up to this point so far. I think their record doesn't indicate the type of football team that they are, and you all were still fighting to keep your playoff hopes alive, too. They're still alive at the moment, but a lot of things need to happen, and we'll touch on that in the second half. But I want to continue touching on the Hampton game just a little bit more because even though things didn't go well on defense, like you mentioned, allowing 38 points, you still had 2 interceptions. I know one came, I guess, on a 2-point play that you can count as an interception. And then you had Leland Payne getting another. Alex Johnson was the one that got that one in the end zone on the 2-point play. But to be able to swap the ball away from them twice is something that you can be happy with because it's something that you can carry going forward.
Well, the disappointing part was, you know, we picked the one off with Leland, and we've got a little bit of momentum, and we're a little amped up, and we're ready to go. And we turn around and fumble the snap and turn it right back over to him in short field. So it's like we're up. We're like, all right, let's go, let's drive the field, let's go score. First play took the wind out of ourselves. I don't know if we ever really recovered from that. I think that was put them up 2 or 3 scores at that point. I'm not real sure which part of the game that happened in, whether they had scored twice yet or not. I guess it would have been put them up 3 scores there. So, that really took a lot of wind out of our sails, and we had a hard time getting back after that. But that was one thing I was very pleased with. Defensive line, we've talked all season. A lot of teams have went to these little middle screens where quarterbacks just bailing, and they'll just kind of punch and release the D lineman, expecting them to just fly upfield and go try to get the quarterback. But you see them, they go and they see him bailing. Well, they all start dropping back, playing it just like they're coached. They did it one time, and Caden Fortner, if he was 2 inches taller, he probably had a pick because it went literally about that far over his fingers.
Yeah.
And then we were still in good position to make that tackle because we didn't go flying upfield. So, D-line played pretty disciplined there. And then for Leland you see it on film, he's scanning, looking for the middle screen coming. And then he finally just sits and finds that little pocket where that guy's trying to get to, reaches up, picks it. Nothing like a good thick pick to get you going. And then, but end up shooting ourselves in the foot with the turnover right after that. So, it was a frustrating night of football for me as a coach. We take one step forward and we take 10 steps back. We get them stopped, get a holding penalty down there on the goal line, and we turn around and get a personal foul. When you get that personal foul, they back up 10, up 15. It's like a gain of 5,
yeah,
and they keep the down. It's like we gave them a free 5 yards inside the 15-yard line. It's stupidity on our part. So, we've got to be more disciplined. We've got to work on these things, and it was a frustrating night of football to be a head coach.
I think you've noticed it. We've got a fly that's buzzing around here.
Yeah,
it's bothering both of us.
I'm ready for Han to come in.
I think we need Han's extermination service to come back on the scene.
Hadouken.
He's ready when called upon.
But it's just one of those things. As a coach, you're just like, are we really? We shot ourselves in the foot so much Friday night that it was almost embarrassing, and it's one of those things that it was a game that I went home and I just couldn't sleep because as a coach, I know we're better than what we displayed Friday night. We just played absolutely terrible, and there's not much left to say about that game other than we played awful. We got to learn from it. We got to get better, and we got to do it in a hurry because we only got 3 games left.
That's the last we'll talk about the Hampton game then.
Thank you.
While we've got the opportunity to on the first half, though, and we are still talking about a conference game because I know we're going into a non-conference game with Westridge this week. Let's talk about the conference standings still.
Okay.
I know at the moment there's still a few key games left. There's a key game this upcoming Friday night on Rebel Hill between South Green and Eagleton.
Yeah.
If Eagleton is to come into South Green and steal a win, I think that would put Hampton, Eagleton, Happy Valley, and South Green at a 4-way tie at the top. Or at least a 4-way tie where 4 teams have 1 losses.
Yeah.
It's still theoretically possible for you to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
You just need a few things to happen and go correctly. For you all still need to win out.
Yeah.
You still need to beat Happy Valley and South Green. And then you need one of those teams to lose along the way.
Yeah.
Whether that be Eagleton to help you all and beat South Green, and you go into South Green and beat them. Or if South Green loses to Hampton. Or if you get Cumberland Gap to pull off a miraculous upset and knock off Happy Valley. So you need some of those things to go right in your favor, but at the end of the day, you still got to win out.
Yeah. And that's what I have to tell the guys too. Goal this year was to get back to the playoffs. Go compete for a region title. Obviously, the region title is kind of the chances of that are almost non-existent now. I don't even know if it's mathematically possible. But making the playoffs is very much still on the table. But we have to take care of us first. We have to go take care of business. And we've still got 3 games left, and we got to win 2 of those 3. We got to win those last 2 region games. You want to control your own destiny, and that's why Friday was important for us. But for us now, we've got to go take care of business ourselves and hope somebody else helps us along the way, which is a frustrating spot to be in as a coach. You'd rather just control your own destiny. Yep. But it is what it is. We laid an egg Friday, and now we've got our backs against the wall, and we're going to see what kind of team we are when our backs against the wall.
You've got the perfect opportunity to work on yourselves this week, though, as you do have Westridge coming up. We'll preview that game in just a minute, though, as you go travel up the interstate to play them. But before we do that, we need to go ahead and get a break in first. So we'll be right back after that to talk about this upcoming game on Friday night here on Grassroots Media.
Pizza Inn offers contactless buffet to go with JoJo's Family Feast or anything on our menu for carryout. We also honor birthday parties and cater to businesses and large events. We make it easy. Call us today. Pizza Inn Greenville.
For more than 30 years, Tommy's Plumbing has served customers in East Tennessee with licensed and professional plumbing services. From installing your new faucet to replacing your existing piping system, our team at Tommy's Plumbing is trained to handle the job with professionalism, attention to detail, and integrity. By offering warranties on most products installed by our technicians, Tommy's Plumbing stands behind our work, ensuring that your plumbing needs are not only met, but that your problem is solved for the long term. When you need reliable and professional plumbing service, Tommy's is the only call to make. So give us a call today and let us show you the Tommy's difference.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Malone's Record Service Evan Monroe Show, presented by Critters Corner, where we cover everything on the range with the West Green Buffaloes football team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Evan Monroe. Was your Critters good last week?
Oh, man. Anytime you go to Critters, it's good.
That's true.
I think me and Han went there 4 or 5 times last week. He went 5. I think I went 4. It's a staple in the Malone community.
It really is. And I'm glad that it's a presenting sponsor for the show.
It is. Critter, she even provided our pregame meal Friday. So, she not only is she sponsoring a coach's show, she's providing a pregame meal for us. A lot of times, if, a church or something's feeding us before a game, she's the one doing the cooking and bringing it over here. They'll pay her to do that.
Yeah.
Critter's been a staple in the Malone community for years, and she's always giving back to the community. So shout out to you, Critter. Thanks for all you do for us.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you.
Thank you for letting us come in last week. Hopefully go in one more time this year. May not have a call-in show this time.
I hope not.
We won't tell anybody that we're doing a show this time. No call-ins today.
No.
Got Westridge this week coming up on Friday night. Big opponent. Excuse me for asking, what classification are they? Because I'm not familiar with that high classified team.
6.
6A, Westridge traveling on the road to play the Wolves. It's a team that you probably don't know as much about. You've never played them before. This will be the first meeting between West Green and Westridge in Westridge's short amount of time as a school. So what do you expect on Friday night when you play them up there?
They do a couple different things on offense. I've seen them in double wing T. They did some of that against Jeff County. I've also seen them in the spread. They've got a couple really good receivers out on both sides of the ball. A lot of short tunnels and bubbles, and get those big boys out in space and let them run and go block somebody on the edge. Coach Hilton was at Sullivan South for years before they combined these schools, and Sullivan South is a pretty darn good football team, so I know they're well coached. They've got some big old boys up front. I know they're young up front, but they're still big, and they're still pretty good. I know it's a 6A high school. We went up there earlier this year for a JV game. They called me and said, "Hey, you want to come up for a JV game?" I was like, "Sure. We'll let the JV guys come up and see a great facility." Yeah. And our former trainer, Coach E's up there as their trainer now. So it'll be, and he's kind of the one that facilitated this for us. For us, we treated that week we were supposed to play South Green as our bye week. We were supposed to be on a bye this week, but to get us to 10 games, Coach Hilton called and said, "Hey, would you be interested in playing us?" And I said, "Sure." So, it's a great chance for us to go play a big high school, go see what a great facility they have. Gives us, and go see how we can stack up against a big school like that. Go see what 6A football is about. See what some big time programs look like. So for us, I just want to see us go compete this week. we're going to work on ourselves this week. I want to see us go execute things that we've worked on this week and see us go do it at a good level against some good competition.
And I know you haven't ever played them either, so you can't revert back to what you used from last year in film or the year before and such like that. So from the film that you've seen so far, what do you expect them to do on offense and defense?
Like I said, on offense, they do a couple different things. They're very similar to us offensively with the two wide receivers, a wide receiver on the other side with a sniffer. They'll go trips and true 2x2 and do some different things out of those formations. They've got a quarterback that stands back there and delivers a really, really pretty ball. You got a running back that can run pretty good and a couple good receivers out wide. Defensively, they change it up a little bit. They'll go, a 3-3 stack look one play. They'll go to a split 4 look the next. So they're very versatile in what they do. They match personnel well. So for us, we got to kind of be ready for a couple different looks from different places, and we just got to come out and play and execute.
And as always, too, when you go up there to play big boy football on Friday night, you've got 3 keys to the game that you need to carry out in order to win the game. What are they on Friday night?
Control our attitude and our effort and play enthusiastic football. Friday night, our attitude and our effort wasn't great. It stunk. I don't care to admit that as a head coach. That's on me. I've got to do a better job of leading. So for us, that's a big thing I want to focus on this week, attitude and effort. Making sure we're playing good, sound football, make sure we're controlling our emotions and playing at a high level. Second thing is execution. We can put the greatest game plan in the world in, but you, as a player, have to go execute the game plan. So I want to see us go execute at a high level and play and do what we're coached to do this week. And the last thing, as always, score more points than the other team. We're going to play Westridge. They're a 6A high school. Nobody's given us really a chance to win this ball game. So why not go try to score more points than the other team and win a game against a really big high school? Because really, when it boils down to it, they could have 60, 70 guys on the sideline. Only got 11 on the field. And you just got to go execute and do your job better than the guy across from you does.
Everything might look a lot larger. They might look a lot larger than you. They have a larger facility, larger fan base. But at the end of the day, it's 11 on 11.
It's 11 on 11. Got to go play. Got to go execute. Got to go do things the right way this week.
Absolutely. Hope to see that happen on Friday night and see a monumental upset. But until the next time we sit down again, Coach, best of luck on Friday night when you go up there. Tell Coach E I said hi.
I will.
Hadn't seen him since, I believe, the Cloudland game earlier this year.
Yeah.
So he was at one game. So got to talk to him. That was on a Thursday night. So he made the trip down here to watch his old Buffaloes. But I don't think there's anything else I've got unless you wanted to add anything at the end.
Nope, I'm good.
I think the fly somehow made its way out of here. So I don't know if Han's extermination service got to it or not, but it evacuated as soon as we mentioned it.
Just put the fear of the good Lord in him, in the fly. He heard Hans exterminating. That fly said, I got to go.
Hey, somebody walked in a few minutes ago. He saw that door open and he said,
there's my way out.
I got a blast. But that's all we've got. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Malone Tracker Service Evan Monroe Show presented by Critters Corner. We look forward to seeing y'all next time here on Grassroots Media.
Go Buffs.